If you are looking at going on a cruise vacation, you're probably looking at international cell phone plans, at the Wi-Fi package on the ships, and going, how much money am I going to have to spend to stay connected? And I wanted to come on here and talk about a new solution that I have recently discovered, a cruise ship Wi-Fi hack, if you will, through GigSky. Hey everybody, it's Brandon, the Weekend Cruiser, where I go on a weekend cruise just about every weekend, and I need to stay connected while I am at sea. And so I have partnered with GigSky to bring you some content about how they're helping me stay connected for a lower price than what I can do through the cruise ships here. So let's talk about what makes GigSky special. The first thing they are going to do is they are I'll call it a holistic solution to cruise ship travelers. They are specifically tailored to ensure cruise ship guests can stay connected at all times. That's going to mean, number one, you're staying connected in what international port you may be going to. It is crucial when we are traveling to be able to pull up Google Maps, Apple Maps, see where we're walking around when we're in a foreign port that we are not familiar with. The second thing that it's going to do, and this is really what sets them apart, is they make sure that we keep cellular reception while we are on the cruise ship for a reasonable cost, one that I find tremendously cheaper. We'll talk about how they do that a little bit later on. And we'll also talk about the really neat way that they're doing this is by selling the data packages instead of time-based packages like the cruise ship are. Buying it for the entire voyage, for instance, you may not need that much Wi-Fi. So we'll jump in a little bit in this video to, me and my situation, because I certainly don't need a voyage package because of some other solutions that I have. Now, how does GigSky do this? They are what you call a reseller of cellular networks. So they have partnered with over 100 different countries. You can go to their website and check out actually how many that they have partnered with to bring you international data while you are traveling. However, my favorite group that they have partnered with is Cellular at Sea. If you have been on a cruise ship before, you know when you leave a port, you pull away from those cell phone towers, all of a sudden, a bar comes up on your phone telling you that you've now connected to Cellular at Sea. This can be very pricey, and most people always recommend that you go into airplane mode. However, if you're using GigSky, they're going to resell you that data at a really, really reasonable cost. And it's going to allow you to stay connected while you're at sea, not even close to a cell phone network. This makes it a great solution for me. You all may have heard some of my prior videos where I say, look, don't buy the Wi-Fi. It is absolutely not worth it when you're on a cruise ship that goes to ports on all the days that you're out there, especially like me, I do weekend cruises. So on Saturday, I'm in the Bahamas. Sundays, I'm in the Bahamas. I come back home. And so I've got a really strong international cell phone plan that is automatically included. So when I travel internationally, I don't pay extra to be there. And so I don't need to buy the ship's Wi-Fi for those many hours that we're at sea. The trade-off here is I go without cell phone service. And so that's what I've always said in that video about, hey, don't buy the Wi-Fi. It's not worth it, because really you're only buying it for a few hours when you have a good international plan, from like 6 o'clock at night to the time that you fall asleep. When you wake back up again, you're going to be in port and have international reception again. However, it is every cruiser's fear, including mine, and I've even been contacted on a cruise ship before when something bad has happened back home. You want to make sure that people can get up with you. And I always worry that when I'm at sea, nobody can get up with me during those hours. And it's a small window of time, but you always have those fears that something's going to happen and people are going to need to get up with you. GigSky solves this for me because they give me data that I can use during those windows of time when I cannot connect to the cell phone towers on land. Now, what if you don't have a good cell phone network where when you travel internationally, it's automatic? If you're paying extra money, you now can say, hey, I've got to pay for cruise ship Wi-Fi because I'm not going to have any reception when I'm on the ship. And now I've got to pay another amount for when I'm in port. And so these numbers can add up quickly. If you're going on a cruise, you're looking at what? $20 plus per day that you're going to be there. And then I know Verizon at least is $15 for every day that you are in port when you connect. And so those numbers add up really, really quick. So if you don't have a good cell phone reception, I think GigSky is also a good solution for you because it is one-stop shopping. You don't necessarily, when you're on vacation, need a lot of data, especially when you're walking around, you're exploring. You can go without a little bit. You might want to post some pictures on social media, look at a few videos, fine, but you're not going to need a lot of data. And so this is going to give you one-stop shop. You install their eSim, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later on. And when you install that, you get reception on the ship, you go on land, you get reception on land, you come back to the ship, you still have reception. You turn it on once for your cruise, and you have the same coverage regardless of if you're on the ship or if you're on the port. Cruise ship Wi-Fi will only work when you're on the ship. It doesn't work when you get off. And when you're in port, your cell reception will work, but it's not going to work when you get back onto the ship. So you just want to keep that in mind, that GigSky can also be a one-stop solution for those people who just want to turn on one plan, keep it for the entire cruise. So now that we've talked about what GigSky is and how you can utilize it, let's talk about how much GigSky actually costs. I've said that, you know what, cruise ships are going to charge you $20+ per day. If you don't have an international plan for the port that you're going to, that's going to be another $15 per day. You're already up to about $35+ per day that you're spending. So let's talk about what the prices are with GigSky. Now, with GigSky, make sure you're going to their website to make sure the countries you're going to are going to be approved or they're on the list. They've got most cruise ships covered at this point. I've tried them out on Royal Caribbean's Independence of the Seas. I've tried them out on the MSC Magnifica. And today I'm here on Celebrity Reflection, where I'm also using GigSky. Now, I just pulled up the pricing sheet that I paid for, and I got 5 gigabytes for about $72. $71.99 is what it came out to be. And I am on my 3rd voyage. And so with that, let me see how much I have left. They've got an app, by the way, which is what I'm using. But if I switch over to my plan, again, I'm on my 3rd voyage. So that means 3, 6, this is my 9th day at sea, and I still have 1.69 gigabytes left. Keeping in mind, when I'm in port, I'm switching over to my cell phone plan so I can connect to those networks. This is really just that window of time in the evening that I need to connect. And I've gone through less than 4 gigabytes in 3 weekend cruises. So the price for that, the $72, has covered me for 3 cruises, which is insane because I would have paid that for just one. Another thing you need to know about GigSky, their plans, when you buy these, they're going to last for 30 days. So if you are on back-to-back cruises, you have a couple spread out in the month like I do. I know not everybody cruises like I do, but if you do, this might be a good solution for you as well. They do have other packages that are available as well. And so if you want to buy those, let me just pull up the price for it real quick. You're looking at 3 gigabytes is going to be $63.99. So it's only about $10 cheaper to get the 3 gigabytes. If you want 1 gigabyte, it's $35 and so forth. Luckily, there are discounts that are out there. And so again, in partnering with GigSky, I have an affiliate link. So if you want to use Weekend Cruiser in the discount code, as the discount code, all one word, that is Weekend Cruiser, and I'll link to it down in the description below and give you the link to go over to their website, you can get that for even cheaper. Now, is GigSky a good fit for you? So if you're analyzing all this information, scratching your head a little bit, let's really break it down into what is important. The first thing you need to think about is how much data are you using? Are you a data hog, as people like to say? Me, even though I'm on social media a lot, I don't really hog that much data. So if you're doing a lot of video streams, if you're scrolling on TikTok, on Instagram Reels, if you're playing YouTube, if you're doing video chats, you're going to use up some bandwidth on your phone. You're going to go through data a lot quicker. If you are using it for just emails, for Facebook, for looking at Instagram pictures, you're going to have absolutely no issue not going through a lot of data. So I'm going to link down in the description down below as well on a website that you can go to really say probably about how much data am I using, because most people probably have no clue how much they're using. The second tip that I'll give you on how much data do you really use, go and look at your last cell phone bill. Pull it up, they will tell you how much data you use, and you can kind of say, okay, on a given day, this is how much data I've been using to be able to project what you might be doing while you're on your cruise vacation. The next thing you're going to need to know if you're looking at using GigSky is, do you have a compatible phone? So most newer phones these days are going to come with what they call an eSIM. It is not a physical SIM, meaning you can just pull up your phone and you can add an eSIM to it. And so on mine, I can run my traditional eSIM and I can run GigSky's eSIM at the same time. Their website will walk you through which phones are compatible and which ones are not, which I'll link to their FAQs down below. I think they're actually pretty good. The other thing you need to make sure is that your phone is unlocked. They have a site for this too on their FAQ page. And what I mean by it being unlocked is that you can transfer your phone from your current carrier to another carrier and back and forth. If your phone is locked, you are not permitted to leave your carrier. So let's say that you are with Verizon. If your phone is locked, you cannot change that from Verizon until you meet some hurdles like paying off your phone. That's normally the biggest one. And GigSky is going to need your phone to be unlocked. So that is crucial to this process. The next thing you need to ask yourself is, how comfortable am I with technology and actually using my phone? You don't necessarily have to be tech savvy for it. I don't consider myself to be that tech savvy, but you do need to have a certain level of confidence, if you will, in going in and changing the settings of your eSIMs back from your traditional one, take it off your traditional, move it to GigSky, and then once you're done with GigSky, your vacation's over, you are moving it back to your traditional eSIM and turning it on. It's super simple, but does require a certain level of tech confidence to get into the settings to do that. GigSky is also data only. So when you go over to GigSky, some things you need to know is number one, you're not going to receive phone calls to your phone number on GigSky. You're also not going to receive SMS text messages. So if people want to stay in contact with you, you need to let them know that they need to use data only services. And what I mean by this is WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, Instagram, direct messages. You've got iMessage on iPhones. All of those will still continue to come through. But anything that is related to your physical phone number, like an SMS text or a phone call, will not come through. So you want to make sure people that you want to stay connected with know the alternative solution to get up with you. And another thing that I really enjoy about GigSky is it allows me to take my phone, and as you can see now, I am tethered to my computer. So that's where I keep all my notes for the videos. And my phone is giving my computer data. The great thing with GigSky, they don't care how many devices that you connect. They're glad with you using more data. Please connect more. But they don't care. They're not charging me extra for the ability to be able to take my phone and tether it or create a hotspot for my computer or whatever devices that I have. If you are on a cruise ship, you're not going to be able to do that. It's really tough to take a cruise ship Wi-Fi and tether it or hotspot it. I know that I personally can't hotspot it. I can tether cruise ship Wi-Fi, but it kills the speed that I'm getting. With GigSky, it's always the same speed when I tether because they want me to be able to use more data. And if you're somebody like me who's a little bit worried on how much data to use because I really didn't have a good handle on how much I was using, shockingly, there's a data saver feature on my phone and there probably is one on yours as well. So you can always turn on the data saver to slow you down a little bit. It'll reduce what some of the other apps are bringing down. It's also super easy in the GigSky application to see how much data you have left. So again, I bought 5 gigabytes 3 cruises ago and I've consistently checked it. I think I'm using around like 1.5 gigabytes per weekend cruise at this point. And that's my personal usage. Yours is going to vary. But I think that that gives me, now that I've done it, a really good idea of what I need to be looking at for my packages in the future on how I can stay connected on 3 different cruises for only $75. I mean, not shabby at all. And technically, if I can get a 4th cruise in, I'm not cruising next weekend, I'd really have 4 cruises in there for only $75. Worst case scenario with your data is you go through all of it and you just have to buy some more. They do have features that allow you to top up. And you can continue to use the discount code WeekendCruiser, one word, with the affiliate link down below. That will give you a cheaper package than what they're providing online as well. So hopefully you found this to be informative and educational. Because I certainly think that it's a great fit for me. I know that it would be a great fit for all of you too, and so I hope that you're able to use GigSky and find it as easy as I did and save some money so you can go on more weekend cruises. All right, everybody, this is Brandon, the Weekend Cruiser. Hoping to see you on a weekend cruise soon.